So let's start by settling the body. Finding a stable, comfortable, upright position serviceable for meditation. So we think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap right over left with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. We try to maintain an awareness of not slouching or leaning, but we relax any unnecessary tension, any rigidity in the body. Trying to find a stable, comfortable position, letting the body fall into place. Then we begin moving our awareness inward, away from the environment, constraining our awareness to the body and mind. Letting go also of thoughts of the past and plans for the future. Concentrating that awareness in the present moment by attending closely to the physical sensation of the air moving into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Noticing quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and without judgment or frustration, lifting your awareness up from that distraction and placing it again and again on the breath. And then when the mind feels more calm, generate a broad and altruistic motivation for your time. Thinking about using your time to develop and deepen new, beneficial, constructive tendencies, habits, ways of thinking and acting, to counteract, reduce, and eventually eliminate those tendencies and habits that are not beneficial, those that cause oneself pain and often motivate actions that harm those around us. Engaging in this process of genuine inner transformation in order to repay the kindness of countless sentient beings who've provided all of our comfort, all of our well-being, who are responsible even for our ability to develop good qualities by relating positively to them. Wanting to repay that kindness by no longer harming sentient beings and being able to work perfectly for their benefit by developing our own mind. Then we can contemplate an overview of the methods in Buddhism, particularly Tibetan Buddhism, for engaging in that path most completely, internalizing the realizations of the stages of the path to enlightenment, which is organized into three scopes. So we can think about how the Buddha's wisdom is organized and aspire to internalize that wisdom. So we think that first we train in the path shared with practitioners of the small scope. In this scope, we reorient our motivation away from just the sensory pleasure of this life alone. We try to orient ourselves to accomplishing higher rebirth in future lives. So we would understand that the time that we have in this life is short, but that the time that we do have is incredibly precious and rare and valuable. So we would devote ourselves to practice. And we would recognize the shortcomings of a rebirth in the lower realms, where there's no opportunity to develop the mind. And then we would think of the methods of guarding karma that would be the vehicle for closing the door to the lower realms and accomplishing our purpose of higher realm rebirth. And we would recognize that the teachings on karma come from the Buddha, and are expressed in the Dharma and are understood by the Sangha. So we would train in refuge. So we knew clearly what to adopt and what to discard. So try to think of the benefits of training in the path shared with practitioners of the small scope. Reorienting our efforts, striving for good future rebirths. And try to aspire to practice that scope well. And then we can contemplate training in the path shared with practitioners of the middle scope, moving beyond the small scope, recognizing that good future rebirths are not an end in themselves, merely a means to a better end, a greater purpose. So in this level of training, we recognize that good future rebirths are still disadvantageous. They're ultimately still in the nature of suffering. There's nowhere that we can be reborn within ordinary cyclic existence that is completely free of suffering. So we turn toward a subtler, deeper understanding presented in the teachings, and we try to uproot even the subtlest afflictions, the cause of our suffering. So try to develop a weariness with suffering, being fed up, as Venerable Rabina says, with having to experience painful states again and again, due to the influence of karma and delusion. And develop a strong wish to be free. Then we contemplate even giving up the wish to be free only for oneself, recognizing that that wish is shared by every sentient being. So we recognize that it's not sufficient to attain nirvana for oneself if it leaves sentient beings out. These kind mother sentient beings that have raised me, protected me countlessly in previous lives. And just like when you see a photo of a parent who's passed, you still say, that's my mother, that's my father. Relationship doesn't change at death. So thinking of all sentient beings as having been one's mother, we train in equanimity, developing a balanced, equal regard. We train in great love and great compassion. And we train in developing bodhicitta, the culmination of equanimity, great love, and great compassion, the method for being able to actually create the conditions for sentient beings to be happy and to be free of suffering. By recognizing that we ourselves must achieve enlightenment and lead all sentient beings to enlightenment, to actualize our own great love and great compassion. So contemplate these insights and aspire to understand and practice them well. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. And we'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that having contemplated in this way, you've actualized that motivation, created positive energy in the mind, and think that you offer that positive energy for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking when it ripens, may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war, conflict, poverty, disease, natural disasters. You can bring to mind those killed in the mass shooting the other day, and think may it serve as a cause and condition for them to quickly achieve a perfect human rebirth and practice the path in the way that's most suitable for them, so that they too can escape suffering completely. And think that all painful inner and outer conditions are pacified. And that sentient beings, all sentient beings, perfect their minds and arise in the state of full enlightenment. I think I too achieve the state of full enlightenment so that I can work for the benefit of sentient beings. I think any obstacles facing the Guru's long life are completely dispelled. And that in this moment, I and all sentient beings come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. And may we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.
Thank you, Venerable. Thank you very much.